WizitUp.
What we read from those 4 questions as number 1 is what you have right here. The manners of child trafficking in Nigeria and ways of curtailing it. What are you curtailing? Child trafficking. Now, when you are faced with this during examination, you have your paper right in front of you. So, on an imaginary level, I take this as my paper. Now, this is when you need to remind yourself that there are 2 issues that go to the press, to the newspaper, to the national, daily, international newspaper. You can have a letter to the press. You can also have an article to the press. In this case, you have an article. What is the difference between the 2? In a letter to the press, you are writing what the name implies, letter, and a formal letter at that. So, you must have at this corner your address. You must have at this corner your direction. You must have your salutation. You must have your title. You must have the main body and then the subscription, just like any other formal letter. We're going to treat one formal letter much later. But here, you are writing an article. In an article, the editor has no right to touch what you have written. He has the choice of publishing or not publishing, but it's not going to edit it. Whatever you write is your own imagination. If it is wrong, it is your illiteracy. If it is correct, the credit goes to you. But for a letter, if you write a letter to the editor and you want it published, the editor has the right to edit the letter and remove and add, as the case may be. Right. So, when you have it here, you have an article. The first thing you do is frame a title. In most cases, the examiner assists you in framing the title. So if you look at this question, you have the manners of child trafficking in Nigeria and ways of curbing it. Now, you may just decide to lift the title from here and then put it right here in titular form. Deliberately, I put this one in sentence form so I can teach you practically how to convert from the sentence form to the titular form. Okay, you can do that. In the alternative, and that attracts more marks for you, you may choose to create your own caption as a title for this. But for easy understanding, let me start from this and put it in titular form. So, because it's not going to come in title, you have 2 options. Option number 1, you say the, okay, manner of child trafficking, okay, in Nigeria, comma, and ways of curtailing it. Okay, I'm afraid. Okay, I don't want to do it that way. Let's expand this place a bit so I don't get into the third line with just a word, right? So I put it this way, and I say ways of curtailing it. Now, if you look at it that way, it has come from the sentence form to the titular form. What is the difference? Here, all major words are written of capital letters, except prepositions, conjunctions that are not more than 5 letters. So if you look at it now, the automatically starts the sentence. It must carry capital letter. Manners is a word. It must carry, it's a noun here. It must carry capital letter. But of, when you get here, it's a preposition. and it's of just 2 letters. So automatically it goes on small letter. But child is not treated like that. Trafficking is not treated like that. When we get to in, it is a preposition also, and it carries only 2 letters. So only 2 letters. So it goes in small letter. Now, Nigeria, whether at the beginning or at the end of a sentence, must carry capital letter at the beginning because it is a proper noun. And it's a conjunction, not up to 5 letters. So it is carrying small letter at the beginning. Ways is just a word on its own. Now here, it is carrying a capital letter. Of, again, a conjunction, of course, small letter. Then cabin, a word, carrying capital letter. Then it, well, this is a pronoun here, and it is carrying a small letter. Now note the following. Number 1, the starting must carry capital letter. Now in editing language, anything that has 3 lines under it goes to capital letter. So this is capital, as you can see. This is capital, as you can see. This is capital, as you can see. Capital, okay, capital, capital, and capital. Now, these are small letters. I'm going to use another column to work on the small letter. This small letter, this small letter, this small letter, and this small letter, as a case, and then this one small letter. So the green ones in 3 marks carry capital letters. Okay, they are the main words. The orange color ones have small letters, and of course, they are not the main words. They're either preposition or conjunction or even article. Supposing we have this D in the middle of the sentence, it's going to carry small letter because article too is a minor word, which you have here. So a, the, and some will carry small letter. Prepositions that are not up to 5 words will carry small letter. Conjunctions will also do the same thing. So this is type 1. Why is it that I've taken some time to explain this? Because your grading starts from there. And then remember, there is no full stop. That's the difference between the sentence form and the titular form. If you have a look at the sentence form, you see that right over here, there is a full stop because I was making a sentence. But at the level of the title, you remove the full stop. You don't mark off the title with a final full stop. So it's going to read the manners of child trafficking in Nigeria, ways of curbing it. That is a style. Now, there is another style, which is style 2, and it's your choice anyway. Style 2 will say, write everything in capital letter. So you have the manners of child trafficking, okay, in Nigeria, okay, and ways of curtailing it. So when you have it this way, you have the all cap style. In this case, you don't need to worry yourself about anything. There's no sensitivity to whether you are looking at conjunction or article or whatever. This is actually easier to write. But in most cases, examiners will feel that students run into this because they don't know the rules here. I would rather you train yourself with the 2. You are aware of how to write the 2, but you can then choose to put one during an examination, when you sit an examination, okay? But there are further rules under the rubrics of your examination, the rubrics of marking. If you use this style, you must underline, and that must be emphasized. You must underline. So you will have it this way. If you use the cap plus small letter style, you must underline. But if you use the caps only, you should not underline. Now, watch my choice of modal auxiliary. Here I said you must underline. Here I said you should not underline. I didn't say you must not underline. Underlining it will not be offensive, but will make your work rough. And of course, the examiner may not be interested in doing any other thing than penalizing you. So the choice is yours. Use this, whichever you go, whichever way you go is fine with you, and it should be fine with the examiner. That is how to construct a title.
WizitUp